and good morning to you. And welcome to the alternative service and the craft session. Today we're going to make a stained glass window. So that's pretty ambitious. I'll show you what I mean. Here we have a stained glass window. Okay. Now this is because Fiona's going to be talking to us about Jesus reigning in glory, and particularly about those symbols. If you can see them, there's got like nearly an O with legs on and an A interwoven, and that sign is the Alpha and Omega sign, and you do get that on a lot of stained glass windows. Now I do love stained glass windows. I do think they show the glory of God, and I've chosen like a modern design here. If you look around some churches and cathedrals, you will see some beautiful stained glass windows, and you'll get lots and lots of ideas. But if you can't quite get to a cathedral at the moment, you can always look on Google Images and you'll find lots there. So I've used a few ideas to create this one here. Right, and what I'm going to show you is, this was the design I started from, so that sort of design. And what I've done for you today, I've produced you an Alpha and Omega sign like that, which will be able to, you can be able to get from the website, because I'll ask Matt to put that on for us. Just to save you doing it yourself. Obviously you can have a go yourself if you want to. You might do it a bit different. You could have Alpha and Omega separate. They don't have to be entwined like this one. Alpha and Omega means the beginning and the end, and Jesus is at the beginning and he is at the end. Jesus is everlasting, and that's our message for today. So let's start off. It's quite an easy project. You just need a few little bits of equipment. So I'll start off with our border. I'm just using today an A4 sheet of white paper. Now if you've got coloured paper, that would be nice. If you've got bigger than A4, that would also be nice. But A4's fine. And the first thing to do is make a border. So what I do, fold it in half. That's it, folded in half. And then with a ruler and a pencil, I'm going to make myself a border around the outside. So I'll do it and show you. Just the width of the ruler. I'm sure you've done this before, it's not very difficult. It just gives you a nice straight edge for your window. Right, so can you see that? Maybe it's a bit faint, isn't it? So I've just done a border around the outside, which is the width of my ruler. And with my scissors, I can cut out. And the clever thing about folding it in half is you don't need to make a hole in the middle. Right, so that's it. Cut out, open it up, and that's my window border. Now what I do now is I'm going to create my shapes for my window. So each of those plastic colours is representing a piece of coloured glass. Okay, but I thought it'd be difficult working with coloured glass, so what we're doing today is we're going to work with these. These are plastic folders, A4 stud wallet it says it is. You might have these around the house. You might easily be able to get hold of these at a supermarket. So I've just chosen a few colours. There's my purple one. You can see I've used quite a lot of my purple one. And then you just randomly cut out shapes. So I'll do some more with my purple. And the good thing is, sometimes it's nice to be double. That's a double thickness, and then sometimes it can be single. Right, so double, single. And then as they overlap, you get more colourways. So I've produced some of these already, just cutting out quite random shapes. Got some nice big ones and then some smaller ones. Now I did experiment with glue, but I found the easiest thing was sellotape because it was much more reliable. It held everything in place really nicely. So just with your sellotape, you're working on one side and you're stick one shape in place, stick it onto the border like that. Okay, so I can add a few more pieces. And it can be quite random. That's the beauty of the modern stained glass window, is it doesn't have to be a pattern, it doesn't have to be a picture, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. But if you have a look on Google Images, you'll get lots of ideas, the sort of things that you can do. Put that one that I've just cut out at the top. So actually this is really quite enjoyable. Right, so already that was only 3 pieces, and already you can see you've got quite a lot of stained glass effect going on. I did like these purple and turquoise together, that was my choice. But it might depend what you can find. Blue and red would be nice together, or orange. Even clear ones would be quite nice. Right, so we've got some red somewhere. Not much red. Right, so you can see, fill in quite a lot of the larger section first, and then fill in the gaps with smaller pieces. So you've got quite a nice random design, a bit like waves, but it could be any sort of design really. Right, so that's the back of your stained glass. That's the back of it where you've put the sellotape. But if you turn it round, you've then got the front where you can't see the sellotape. So you've got the effect there. Let me just see if I've got a whiteboard here. Right, you can see that a bit better. Might go there, maybe. There we are. You can see it better there. Okay, and then with the symbol, either the one that I've produced that's on the website for you, you can cut that out and then just glue it into the centre of your design, wherever you want. Or if you want to make your own Alpha and Omega, it's just an A and an O, but the O's got legs instead of finishing at the bottom. And that means the beginning and the end. So that's all about Jesus. So I'll just show you my finished one again. You can see that quite nicely, isn't it? So you could hang this up in a window, or you could just hang it up anywhere, or just keep it somewhere to remind you. Jesus Christ, the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. And that's all for today. Thank you so much.